Hi everyone. So I'm making this recording because I just came across something and I thought it's actually very useful, but I didn't want to, like really overrun. So I'm gonna actually just actually while in my gym, I was in the gym. Yeah, I just started thinking, and then I thought maybe I should just make a video about this, because I kind of realized that the yesterday while thinking about how all this case of the Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds versus Justin Baldoni case. And as you can tell, I don't really like Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. I think they're really insufferable, especially Ryan Reynolds is a horrible person, but Blake Lively is no better. But I kind of realized that there are people who actually try to use things like they fake the SH and SA cases, and they do that. And it's funny because, sorry, this is the wind. I'm just trying to open the window so that it's kind of windy. I mean, I like the wind, so yeah. But the thing is about faking SH and SA is that a lot of these people have mental issues, and if it's not a mental issue, they are really entitled. They think that they are being rich and powerful, or good looking or whatever, or that they know someone in high places. They're so-called being Khaleesi, okay, with all their dragons. They think that all these so-called dragons will help them to fire their way through everything, and it's disgusting, okay. And nowadays you even have that on like online forums of people who are really entitled. I don't even think that these people are really experts. They put themselves across as experts, life coaches, gurus, everything, but I think that they're probably even lying about their so-called abuse, or their history of whatever their ill treatment by someone. I really believe that, but because if you are really so like thriving in life, why are you making videos unloading hatred onto everyone every day? It doesn't make sense, okay. So, and today I'm just going to make a different, just something different. Okay, so my the topic of this broadcast or podcast today is about the things and the habits that worsen your PTSD and hinder recovery. So there are quite a number of things, and I think that these are things that you can really kind of detect from someone. That if the person keeps on doing all these things, they don't some of them might not be aware of it, but if they keep on doing it, it's very likely that they are either unrecovered, or if not, they could even be narcissists themselves, because they don't want you to get out and to do your things in life and to thrive and focus on those more important things. Okay, so these are the few things. Okay, so the first thing that actually hinders your PTSD trauma, hinders you from recovering from PTSD trauma, is actually overt rumination. I know that most of us always have this idea that we tend to, after some traumatizing incident or episode, or even like narcissistic relationship, we tend to think that, about the what ifs. What if I never gotten into it, and maybe life would have been better. I would have been happier and everything. And I mean, it's fine. We all have that kind of thing. And sometimes I also, I'm not saying that I'm guilty of it. I don't say guilty of it, but I do go back into this kind of habits too. And it's not that it's wrong, because most of us we do hope for that, and it's rooted in emotions of regret. Okay, but one thing we need to remember is this, and I think that this is something that one of my former teachers used to say about the feeling of regret, and feeling that what if I haven't done this, or what if I did something else instead. She said this thing. She said, that the choices that we make, even mistakes, we made them as they are, based on what little we know and what little we have. So if it's just like that, how can we blame ourselves? And when she said that, I kind of realized, oh wow, there's a lot of wisdom. Okay, and so what, over rumination really hinders you from recovering. Don't do that. Okay, but this is a very common thing. We all do that, so we need to be aware of it. Okay, the next thing is actually over consumption. Okay, over consumption of content on PTSD, narcissistic abuse, and all this kind of things. Okay, and people, not just over consuming, people who make it excessively. Okay, every day make a few videos criticizing this, criticizing that. That these people they probably don't have a good intentions. Okay, I'm saying very clearly because the thing is I've been talking about Nat Poche versus Froggy Frog. Okay, this spat has kind of quietened down, and I don't really follow not either one of them much. I think Froggy Frog is okay based on what I get. He's warning us against Nat Poacher, whom I think is really she's not just a misandrist, she's more than just a misandrist or radical feminist. I feel that she's actually a narcissist because she keeps on doing things which are actually not really legal. You're not supposed to do that. It's unconstitutional. Saying she does a few taunts in the video saying, Froggy Frog, where is your diagnosis? You know that actually medically we are not allowed to do that. Doctors are not allowed to do that, to actually reveal the medical information of someone else. And by doing so, she's doing this thing called DAVO, which is deny, attack, reverse positions of victim and offender. So from basically Froggy Frog being someone who pointed her out, now he's the offender and now she's the victim. Okay, this is a very obvious DARVO move, DARVO move, and it's only used by narcissists, okay, and narcissistic people. I feel that there's a whole thing with this overconsumption or content like that. That was why actually I unfollowed her since last year. I find it so negative, repetitive, and vicious and mean. Yeah, she's a mean girl. I don't think she'll ever find a guy. Even if she finds a guy, she's going to abuse him. So this is the truth. Okay, and I mean I don't, not just naming her, but there are many others. Okay, the one thing I realized, okay, with this kind of overconsumption, it's very similar to people. It brings me next to the whole thing about basically joining all these trauma support groups and forums and channels online. Okay, this is my third point, that's about what hinders you. Why? Because every time you find, I don't really know about y'all, but when I go there, the one thing I only hear is complaining. Okay, why am I in this? Why did I get this? But it's all complaining without any remedy. Okay, it's a lot of contempt for different people, and when you're contemptuous, you're as much toxic as the narcissist or the narcissistic people that you claim to be toxic. Okay, so yeah, this the third thing. Joining all these trauma support forums and all these narcissistic abuse for channels. And I'm not saying don't go there, but if you go there, please don't feel that kind of don't post excessively, don't complain there. And this thing is like what you give yourself, what you feed yourself with will basically grow. Okay, so with all this negativity, you will definitely become as contemptuous as a very narcissist that you hate. Okay, so the fourth point is actually blaming others and refusing to focus on yourself and on self-care. I'll be very honest, a lot of these people who do this kind of things, they refuse to work on what matters, such as their work, their life, their finances, their jobs, their relationships. Yes, even relationships. After narcissistic abuse, the most challenging thing is the next relationship. Okay, because you bring across a lot of baggage. It might not be a romantic relationship, could be a friendship, could be family relationships with someone who is not toxic. And the thing is, you'll be behaving as if these people are toxic even if they are not. Okay, this is hypervigilance and everything. So the point is not to behave like that. Remember that there are still good people out there. And I know that there are some people who think that all men are evil, or that all men are narcissists, but like among the female victims. But the thing is this, the same thing with men. Some men will think, all women are blah 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 blah, all and for those who are gay, they say all gay guys are like that. But no, it's it really, a lot of it is really a lot of stereotyping, and they don't really help us as a whole, as a race, as a society, to sort of classify one group as just being evil. Okay, it is refusing to, it's always pointing fingers at everyone else, but denying your own responsibility for your own healing. Because let's just admit it, um, even if the narcissist were to really change, to apologize to you, do you think that wound that you have inside is it going to recover just because they say sorry? It's not going to happen. You have to take care of yourself, your wounds, okay? And so blaming others and refusing to take responsibility, basically to refuse to focus on self-care, is not going to help. It's going to hinder you, okay? That's the fourth point. Okay, and the fifth point, which I believe is very important, uh, cherishing illusions of what about the narcissist, about everything about relationship, cherishing all these illusions, okay, such as that the narcissist could become a better person, the abuser could be a better person, even if he or she is not a narcissist, or that maybe you could return to the past, a so-called past, which is open close inverted commas, that is probably never really existed because it was just all staged anyway. Okay, this is actually very dangerous. So we know that the one thing about narcissistic abuse is that it works precisely because all these people, all these narcissists actually encourage all these illusions. They make us think that they can always be this person, this fabulous lover, this fabulous family member, the parents, or a sibling, or a friend, or business partner, whatever, or what nature of the relationship. Okay, once you cherish all these illusions, that's really the I won't say it's the end, but it is a way of like hindering you from moving on. Okay, the sixth point, okay, which is actually to tell your experience, to tell your story to really unsupportive, okay, basically unsympathetic and judgmental people. Okay, I learned this. I know that most of us, we tend to go onto these groups. It's not groups, but even we tell it to our so-called friends and everyone who's the ones who meet, and we think that, oh, maybe this person will actually understand it. But you realize the thing is, narcissistic abuse is not a very normal kind of abuse. It's a kind of abuse, kind of a relationship that people, very often we have certain assumptions. And one of the worst assumptions that people have is that they'll say, why are you obsessed with the narcissist? But no one is obsessed with the narcissist. We are not obsessed. I think it's the other way around. The narcissists are obsessed with us. Why then are they trying to destroy us? But there are many other things, like them always conducting a smear campaign, making life really, really difficult for us and everything. So don't tell a story to unsympathetic and judgmental people, because to begin with, as the saying goes, if you show your bleeding wounds in the ocean, you attract all those sharks, right? So why would you want to do that? Okay, show people that you are broken, that you have been broken, and that you are trying to recover. Some people, that actually one thing my psychologist told me. Okay, sorry, anyway, just I'm moving this from Korea. I'm just trying to test it. It's very smelling, very nice smelling. But my psychologist said something once to me about friends. It kind of made a lot of sense when she told me. She said, she said, Kevin, the thing is that the friends that you just made, you have, okay, a lot of them were actually during a point in time when you were either abused in a narcissistic relationship, or when you were recovering, and because of it, you saw these people as your friends, but you haven't really met any new friends or made friends after now in a state that you are now, which is a recovered state, which is like a state where like people just don't really care about your past. They want to know they like you for who you are right now, the recovered person. Okay, and it suddenly struck me, said, yeah, why do you have a lot of friends like that? And the irony is, a lot of those friends who were with me when I was like narcissistically abused, when I was recovering, and when it just ended, within those 2 years after that discard, actually a lot of them didn't end up staying in my life. Okay, a lot of them did not. Okay, to be honest, even those who stayed in my life, I think that as time went by, we gradually just drifted apart, because you know why? I think that people, that's just a normal human thing. Some people don't want to they don't want to stick around people when they are in hard times. They are very materialistic people, and they are very shallow. They don't want to admit that they're fake, but that's who they are. Okay, and when 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 you're in hard times, they'll run away. So I mean, it's unfortunate, but I realized that over last years, especially the last year, over this issue with the thyroid cyst, which gave rise to a lump. It was so scary and everything, and then I realized that, yeah, you don't tell your struggles and your um, challenges to people who are not supportive. Okay, if they keep quiet, they ghost on you, they disappear on you, it's time to cut them off. It doesn't matter. Okay, you can have known them for years, but they're not going to be around for you, forever. Then what's the point? Okay, just let them go. Okay, and okay, number 7, the 7th point, which can hinder you, is to actually hinder your recovery from trauma and hinder your healing, is to actually factor in religious mumbo jumbo. Okay, what kind of religious mumbo jumbo? Such as, you need to forgive and forgive your abuser, and regardless of whether they are repentant or not, blah blah blah, all that BS about, oh, forgiving is for yourself. Yes, because forgiving is for myself. I forgive myself, but I don't need to forgive my abuser. I don't need to reconcile with them. Okay, some of the worst case scenarios are the ones who tell you that you don't leave your abuser behind. If you keep on, actually, whatever, you'll be unhappy with. It's ironic because now that I can't think about it, I can, after years of recovery, everything, and therapy and therapy that was since 2022, I realized is one thing: you don't actually need to forgive to recover. Forcing someone to forgive before they are ready, okay, it will make it worse. Okay, because you make them codependent, you deepen trauma bonds to make them think that just because they forgive this abuser, and maybe if the abuser so-called recognizes, okay, that they are in the wrong, or is willing to at least compromise a little bit, therefore the person who is being abused will feel better. It has nothing to do with the abuser. Okay, it has to do with how we understand our boundaries. Again, the thing is this: in some kinds of relationships, or I would say most narcissistic relationships, I would say more than 90% of them, okay, or probably all of them, the best kind of contact, the best kind of condition or situation in which forgiveness of the abuse can occur is simply no contact forever. No contact forever. Okay, so yeah, don't factor in the religious mumbo jumbo about forgive and forget, because you can never forget. Okay, that's not how the way our body, in our mind, our neurology operates. Okay, when you repress yourself, like those new age mumbo jumbo of oh, there's no right and wrong, we all have some wrong in us, some darkness, all the BS. Okay, when you do that, you are saying that we are one with the abuser. We are not one with the abuser. We were never part of them. Okay, it's religious mumbo jumbo or spiritualist jumbo. Okay, mumbo jumbo. So yeah, don't do that. Okay, but the flip side of this, which is the last point, number 8, is that other than allowing or factoring in religious mumbo jumbo, fixating on justice and karma. I know that most of us, this is very normal, that we want justice or karma to happen, but if you look at it this way, justice and karma is not meant to be visited upon these people necessarily by us. Okay, why do I say? Because why do you want to stoop to your level? Okay, we all need to stoop to your level, but of course I'm not saying don't keep the receipts. If you need to keep the receipts and use it later on in a law of court, go ahead and do it. You'll be dropping that bomb that Justin Baldoni was doing with Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, who thinking that kindness means weakness. Okay, we are not the kind of people, and just because we're empathetic, we're not going to become people like that. Okay, so I would just say, don't fixate on justice and karma, because sometimes uh, the course of time, the course of the universe, it works in certain ways such that when something happens to all these narcissistic people, it happens faster than we imagine, or it happens at a particular rate or way that we do not expect. And very often, very very often, okay, we might not even be around to witness it, maybe because after all, why, the person is no longer in our lives. The person might have passed away, some cases, okay, if that narcissist is way older than us, or for some reason, I don't know, could be sickness, could be an accident or whatever, but or maybe because of the lifestyle. In some case of some narcissists, they sleep around a lot, they have STDs, and the STDs ends up unaliving them, bring them 6 feet under. I mean, it's not a joke, but it's real. Like, people, those narcissists who sleep around, they get HIV, and they'll eventually, okay, out of this world, because of the AIDS and other STDs. Okay, if it's not that, even not just that, the thing is this: why do you want to become as contemptuous and evil as them? The thing is, fixating on justice and karma, it's a kind of like this thing where I want justice. Yes, it's a normal human way to want it, but to want to do it to them, sometimes we sink to the level where we keep on fixating on them. We don't have to do that. I don't think we need to. Of course, if it gets to a situation where it's very likely that they will try to use the law against you, we need to keep our receipts. Okay, but anyway, these are the few things that I think are very important for us, okay, to know. So I hope everyone has a good remaining day. Today's Wednesday, yeah. So I'm going to finish my remaining bits of the lecture next week, and I will get back and talk about something else. Okay, and have a good one, everyone. Okay, bye bye.